So you went to college together?
No, we didn't.
How'd y'all meet?
That is a fun story. Always, it's very, do you want to tell it or do you want me to?
It does whatever.
Okay. Well,
I can start it out.
You can start it out.
During my, God just wanted, like, I kind of stepped away from the church and I was trying to get back into it. And I really wanted to meet Mrs. Wright. And it was a joke. We had a small group, Miss Laura Lahaye. She had a group called Coram Deo for college and young professionals. And I asked my sister to take me because she knew the whole group. And, you know, and the whole group thing was to meet Mrs. Wright.
That's why he went.
And our first meeting, this beautiful little blonde walks in, sits down. We sit there. They're passing a tray of cookies around. It stopped at her.
It just stopped at me.
And she eats supper. I mean, she ate the whole thing of cookies.
That was my supper. I didn't have any money.
Cookies.
Yeah. And I told my sister, I said, I'm going to go on a date with her within 6 months. I don't know what the time was.
And all I was focused on was the cookies.
Yeah, she probably didn't even notice me. I didn't have a cookie on my... And she's still like that. I mean, food, it's really big for her.
It is a big thing. I'm a Cajun girl.
Yeah.
You know, food is a really big thing for us.
But we ended up going on a date, and neither one of us were in the right place spiritually yet. And it just didn't really pan out. And we kept going to Coram Deo, and we did high school retreats. The retreat started in 1992. And once a year, we'd have it's more of a confirmation retreat, but at the time, this was the only confirmation retreat for Lafayette.
Okay.
So we had up to like 220 kids plus supporting staff, and we always did that together. And the priest at St. Pius asked me to be the youth director.
Okay.
And I asked Marie if she would help because Marie's like real artsy and I'm just not really good at coming up with programs and stuff. So we did that together. And
we're still friends. Just friends.
Special
and this
friends.
was during college?
No, we had both graduated already. Yeah.
We were special friends forever.
Well, okay, I have to insert something. I knew he was very special. I mean, you don't meet men like this every day. But I wasn't ready to commit. God hadn't put it on my heart yet. I knew I loved him, but I wasn't in love with him, like that romantic, but I knew he was amazing. And I didn't want to let him go. So we weren't quite dating, but we were more than friends. So
you were still in the friend zone, though, huh?
Right.
Special friends. We coined it special friends.
It's still the friend zone.
And it was. We got married in, oh my gosh,
99.
I am bad with dates. 99. So we went from 94 to 97 being friends and special friends. And there are a lot of things that led up to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is the one. And that would take hours and hours, just a lot of, but the main thing I think was he and a group of young men went to a retreat. What's the name of it? The Curcia retreat. And we had a bunch of friends that went to the closing mass. And of course, I'm late. I'm kind of perpetually late, something I really work hard on. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes not so good. So we're walking into the church late. And they were only they only had room in the foyer. So we were like in the foyer. And then the men from the retreat process in. And I remember that correctly. And as I look at him and he looks at me, and there was like this shock of electricity that went from me to him. Like it was something you could touch. It was the craziest thing. And I'm like, ooh. And it was the weirdest thing. Our eyes met and there was this electricity, like a little current. Ooh. And I'm like, holy cow. This is it. This is it. And then afterwards, the priest that was doing the retreat went to him and said, who was that girl? So he
saw it.
He saw whatever it was. He saw it. And so that was the moment that I'm like, I've got to be with this guy. He's just amazing.
Tell me more about how, you're dating and how eventually y'all got married.
Well, I think one thing was I told her one weekend, it's like, I'm sick of it. We just need to take a break. And she's like, text me. It's like, so we're not going to talk? No talking.
Sick of being a couple?
Sick of being special friends.
Oh, okay. So that's early on. Okay.
We were dating without the romance. I mean, we were like best friends. We're still best friends.
All the time.
And, we were dating. I mean, it was really like.
Without the kissing.
Yeah, without the kissing. But we were there, but it wasn't committed. And I said, we just need to take a break. And you can tell her about
It's tough being the mayor of the friend zone.
Right.
Seriously.
It is.
For 3 years, right? 3 years?
3 years, yes. And it's kind of weird because we were looking back and we're like, well, when did we start dating? When were we friends? And it just all kind of blurred together because it's hard to pinpoint an exact date that this happened and this happened and this happened.
Uh-huh.
But so go ahead. I'm sorry, you were saying.
I'll let you talk about Downtown Live and.
Oh, we how I told you that there were several events that happened that I was like, okay, I've got to be with him.
Yes.
And one of them was there was this event in Lafayette every Friday night called Downtown Alive, where they'd have bands, basically a street party.
Okay.
And I went over there and then I saw one of my ex-boyfriends.
Ooh.
And I went, holy cow, my picture's just so amazing. And just the contrast of my ex-boyfriend and picture. And I'm like, why am I even, second guessing this? Why am I even trying to avoid or not committing? Because this man is he's amazing. He's a wonderful man. And
so much better for you than the ex-boyfriend.
Yes. And so I rode to his house. I think I called and I said, I need to see you.
Right.
I need to see you. And the rest is history.
And were you like, yes, finally?
He's probably like, oh, finally.
I'm stepping out of the friend zone now.
Right.